guys, it's Erin McGuire here with Pure Light Wellness. Today I wanted to give you another video for my entrepreneurs out there, my spiritual and heart-centered entrepreneurs, to help you create freedom in your life and success in your business. And this video today is all about how to avoid burnout. So being your own business owner is not always easy, as you know if you've been doing it. However, when it's going well and when it's working, it's one of the most exhilarating and freeing things you could possibly do. Plus, it's so spiritual, it's so growth enhanced. You learn so much about yourself when you're really forced to step out there and make a business happen all by yourself or with a team or however you're doing it. So I created my business, Pure Light Wellness, about 7 years ago. It started as Pure Light Yoga. I was strictly yoga, and I've went through many different stages with my business. I've, kind of totally ruined one business and totally started another, and I feel like I've been through every stage of business that you can possibly think of, and I've learned a lot. And it's now my turn to start sharing some of what I've learned with you, and also help people, doing private clients, private sessions where I meet with you and help you where you're struggling in your business, moving through that. Something I'm really excited to start launching and sharing with you guys. So how do we avoid burnout? Well, I have to tell you, some of you may know this about me, but I got diagnosed with adrenal fatigue last summer and totally burnt myself out. I was working all the time. I was not taking care of myself the way that I needed to. And the biggest thing I was trying to do was basically control everything. I wasn't letting the people around me help me, and it was really not a good idea or useful for my body, mind, or spirit to do what I was doing. I was basically trying to run on fumes. My body kept telling me to slow it down. I would, get tired here and there, and then finally it just gave out on me, and I was exhausted. I'd sleep 10 to 12 hours a night and wake up exhausted. And then I have to sleep during the day, and it was terrible. It's not a good thing to do to yourself. And I think a lot of us do that, especially if we've grown up from families that we kind of were running in chaos to begin with. We're kind of used to chaos. I'm going to be doing another video soon about that. We get kind of our fight or flight situation gets turned on in our brain, and we're just constantly going in fight or flight. We got to make everything happen rather than really being in the flow of universal spirit where things are easy. It's like we're forcing things to happen. And so I wasn't letting the people around me help me, and I thought I had to do it all. And that's the worst possible thing you can do for yourself. So number one way to avoid burnout is to stop controlling everything around you and let other people help you, and get really good at delegating. Get really good at writing a list that says, here's what I'm good at, here's what I'm not good at, here's what I need help with. And make columns and then find somebody. I don't care if you have to pay that person. You can do a trade. I don't recommend doing trades though, because that starts to get sticky and weird. Pay somebody to do some things so that you can take some things off your plate. This was really hard for me because coming from a background that I came in, I was very stuck in a lack mentality. I didn't think I could afford to pay somebody to help me do what I need to do. And it became very clear to me that if I didn't, I was either going to ruin my business or ruin myself. It was one or the other. So, and I didn't want either of those things. I was on the way to ruining myself, obviously, by having adrenal fatigue. So I really recommend learning how to delegate and then let go of control. Let that person, whoever that person is, and I went through several different people. I really did. I kept trying to find somebody, and then I would back off because I was like, oh, I can't spend that money, and this person isn't helping me. And you just got to put out there what it is you want and need in somebody. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's somebody that you know that can do, a few hours a week here and there to help you take something off your plate. But it's so important that you do this. And you really got to think about how much you get paid as an entrepreneur and how much time it takes you to do some of these things that maybe you're not that good at, that you could be paying somebody look at the ratio of what you charge per hour and what you could pay somebody, and then you'll start to see, okay, it's worth it. It's taking away from my business and my time and what I could be doing, which I do best, helping clients, to pay somebody to do these things for me. I can't remember the website right now off the top of my head, but there's a great website. If I find it, I'll put a link below that helps you. You can hire people from all over the world. Anyway, how else to avoid burnout? So number one is learn how to delegate and get good at it. For some of us, it's going to take a little bit of time. It took me a lot of time, and I'm still learning how to do it. Number two is you've got to have extreme self-care and love. I have a program called My 40 Days of Radical Self-Love, and that program will help you learn how to love yourself so that you're not feeling the need to do everything all the time for everybody else, and that you're taking some time for yourself. So every single day, you want to have a self-care routine that fills you up, because if you're in a spiritual or heart-centered business, you're giving a lot to everybody else, especially if it's energy work of any sort or yoga of any sort. You're giving so much to everybody, and a lot of times we're not filling our own cup up. I don't care. It takes 15 minutes a day. I tell people, if you don't have 15 minutes a day, you don't have a life. If you don't have 15 minutes to give to yourself, if you don't love yourself enough to give yourself 15 minutes a day, then we've got serious problems, and no wonder things aren't working out in your life. You've got to have a self-care routine. There's no question about it. When I'm not taking care of myself, I am not of service to the people that are coming to me. I'm not of service to myself. I'm not of service to anybody, because I'm meeting people with a half-empty cup, just hoping, just doing things so that I can get through the day and pay my bills. Like, that's backwards. It's not why we do what we do. It's so funny. I've heard the quote before, I didn't quit a 40-hour per week job to work 80 hours per week. That's what happens when we're entrepreneurs. We can literally work around the clock. And it's hard, especially when you love what you do. I run into this all the time. I love what I do, so I'm okay working day and night. But it's not healthy for me. And I can't really be of service to those I want to be of service to if I'm doing that. So make sure you're taking breaks. Schedule them throughout your day. Make sure you have at least a 15-minute self-care routine. You're working out for at least an hour 3 times a week. You've got to schedule this stuff in and make it non-negotiable to yourself. You don't schedule meetings around those times. You don't schedule clients around those times. This is your time, and the more you start making that time for yourself and cutting that time out of your day and sticking to it, not letting anything else, interrupt that schedule for you, the more successful you're going to be, because people are going to be more attracted to you. Your light's going to be on. They're going to be coming to you more. It's going to be more effortless. Just watch. Just watch and let me know how it goes. But guys, it's really important that you fill up your own cup and that you really take the time out of your day. Take it from somebody who has literally burnt herself out in the past. It's not fun. You don't want to go there. So the next thing you got to do is you've got to, we talked about 15 minutes of self-care and 3 times a week for 1 hour doing exercise. So there's exercise, there's nutrition. These are how you stop getting burnout. Learn how to delegate, 15 minutes of self-care, exercise, and nutrition. And sleep is the last one. So let's talk about nutrition. I really recommend for people that are high energy and that are doing a lot of energy work to really cut back on dairy and gluten and sugar. Those things are really hard on the body, and they don't give us energy. They actually deplete us in a lot of ways. Now, do I still eat gluten and dairy and sugar from time to time? Yes, but I've really cut a lot of that stuff out. I also cut out a lot of meat, and I try to stick to mostly vegetarian, but I do eat fish, and occasionally I will have some red meat once in a while when my body tells me that I need it. But really watching the times that you eat, making sure you're eating 3 meals a day with not a lot of time in between. That's still one that I struggle with. Getting better at it though. If you're somebody like me, we can go, 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 go. And that's great, but you're going to crash eventually. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, might be a year from now, but you can't keep going on empty. Caffeine is also very hard for people that do a lot of energy work. I recommend really cutting back on the caffeine. Just some things to think about. Just give yourself, a week or 2 of just cutting back on that stuff and see how you feel. It's really important. And the last thing is sleep. Our adrenals need us to sleep. We need sleep. If you do a lot of energy work, if you teach a lot of yoga, if you're out there being a heart-centered entrepreneur, really giving to people, then you need to make sure you're getting your sleep every night. It varies person to person. I don't think there's a standard rule on sleep, just like I don't think there's a standard rule on nutrition. Everybody's different. But there's certain things we can do. So obviously you've got to stop the screen time at least an hour before you go to bed. And I recommend putting your legs up the wall for 5 minutes and just long, deep breathing to kind of soothe your body, soothe your mind before you get into bed. And you really want to try to get into bed before, by 10 o'clock, because from 10 to 12, those are the most healing hours. Any time actually before 12 are the most healing hours of sleep you can get. So you want to let your body have that time to repair. And if you're having problems with insomnia or different things going on, legs up the wall every night is a really good thing to do. There's also some different mudras and yoga tools I can give you to help with insomnia. So leave a comment below. Let me know how this goes for you. Please help yourself to avoid burnout. It is not fun. I've been there. And we're going to talk more about this in upcoming videos, but I really want to see you guys avoid that because it's not a good experience. And it's easy to avoid. You've just got to be willing to take some time out of your day to take care of yourself. And many of us just don't do it. We weren't taught, actually. We weren't taught how to take care of ourselves. So that's a big reason why we don't do it. So it's just learning. It's trying something different. If you want to sign up for my 40 Days of Radical Self-Love, there's a link right below this program, or below this video. It'll show you all kinds of tools and techniques to help you love yourself. That's the biggest key here. All right? Self-love is what it's all about. And what we give ourselves is what we give others. So it is very much a reflection. So take some time for you today. Leave a comment below and let me know how this goes. If there's any questions that you have or upcoming videos you'd like to see, I'd love to hear from you. Shout out, give me an email, whatever works for you. Thank you so much for watching.